Into the ball game as Paul Mokeski has become kind of a cult hero in Milwaukee, Tommy.
And here's the cult hero himself, Big Mo Paul Mokeski. Good evening, everybody. I'm Rickey Hampton. Welcome to We Got Next. Mo, the last show of the year, baby.
Uh-oh.
My goodness. Welcome to everybody out there. I hope everybody had a fabulous, fantastic Christmas day. Hope Santa left you all good things in your stockings. More importantly, good health and prosperity. Mo, man, it's been a great year, man. I tell you all the time, I have so much fun doing this show with you on Mondays, and I've learned so much about basketball in these few years we've been doing the show together. And Mo, the thing about basketball, it's a simple game, but it's a complicated game too.
Yeah, I mean, if you make it complicated, I mean, you know, if you break things down, it's still a simple game. I mean, the outside stuff is complicated, you know, personalities, egos, distractions, all that stuff complicates the game. The game's not complicated. I mean, I have the 3 rules on offense when I coach, you know. If you're open in your range, shoot it. If your teammate is open, pass it to him. And if the basket is open, drive it. That's pretty simple, right? I mean,
it's pretty simple. I can do that, Mo.
And you got 3 seconds to do that. To make one of those 3 decisions, you got 3 seconds to do it. Simple. But people complicate it.
So 4 seconds is just too long to wait to do that?
3 seconds is the law of 3, so it makes sense. But, you know what's too long? Dribbling it 10 times, that's too long. Holding the ball for 5 seconds, that's too long. It's too long. I mean, it's not that complicated. I mean, if you're a regular person, can't you recognize that? My range is 18 feet. If I'm open, I'm going to catch the ball and I'm going to shoot it.
Yeah.
If Ricky's open, I'm going to catch the ball and I'll pass it to Ricky.
Yeah.
If the basket's open,
I'm always open, Mo.
Yeah, I'm not even going to pass it to you. But if the lane's open, I'm just going to drive it. How simple is that, Ricky?
That is.
Most
but Mo, the way you break stuff down, you always make it simple, man. That's why I love doing the show with you, brother.
Players make it complicated. One of the worst habits now, when we played, Ricky, when you caught the ball, what did you do first?
You looked at the basket. What's happening?
Yeah, or get in the threat.
Right, triple threat position.
Triple threat. You catch it. You get in triple threat. You shoot it. You pass it. You dribble it. Right. That's what we used to do. What do they do now? Most of the players in today's game, when they catch the ball, even the little kids that are 10 years old, when they catch the ball, what's the first thing they do?
Look at the basket to score.
No, they dribble it. They catch it and they dribble it. They start dribbling it. So I can get into my bag and I can cross over in between my legs. And first thing people do, if you pass some kid, go to a gym, pass them the ball, first thing they're going to do is they're going to dribble it.
I'm gonna watch that next time.
That's changed everything. You know, so if you
whose fault is that? Allen Iverson?
No, it's partly that. It's partly, Harden. It's partly AAU coaches. It's partly high school coaches. It's partly everybody. And then in the further times when you're in college, even high level high school or high level, you're the coach. You're supposed to stop them from doing that, but they don't. They're afraid to. They're afraid to say, stop dribbling the ball. Stop it. Pass it, shoot it, drive it to the basket. The only dribble you should make is to the basket, unless you're hoping to get a teammate open with a dribble handoff. And that gets into it a little deeper. But, go to an AAU 12-year-olds, go to a gym and watch them play. They're all catch it, dribbling it, dribble, get out of the way, dribble. That's what they do. And then they try to shoot it.
And welcome everybody out there to We Got Next, last show of the year. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. Chris has already checked in to say good evening. What's happening, brother? Hope you had a good one, man. Send us your questions and comments. We got a lot we're going to get into, but you just talked about some of the stuff that makes it complicated, Mo, and I hate to surprise you with this. I'm sure you heard about it. Once again, Draymond goes off on the bench, walks off during the timeout with Steve Kerr. But something he said I think is true. He felt he needed to get out of that situation right now before something bad happened. So he took himself not only out of the game, but off the bench, went in the locker room, came back, didn't come back in. And you touched on this before. He says after Draymond, we've been at this for a long time. Sometimes when you're with people for a long time, there's a level of comfort and stuff happens. We move forward.
So he's done that again? He's done it twice now?
Yeah, yep.
When did he do it again?
He and this first time I ever known of him going off the bench, but he and Kerr have gone back and forth quite a bit over the years.
Yeah, but I mean, it's different. I mean, you can say stuff, you can talk about stuff, but getting up and walking off the court, why are you doing that? How old are you, 12? You can't handle your temper? You can't listen to a coach, without getting all upset? You can't communicate without getting upset and walking off the floor? That's a problem. That's a you problem. That's a you problem.
And he's walking off on his teammates. He was in the game at the time.
Well, he's let down his teammates a lot. Whenever he gets technicals, whenever he gets kicked out of games, whenever he gets kicked out of a series, it hurts his teammates, right? And he keeps doing it. So,
Chris says he's, I don't remember Rodman. Of course, he did some crazy stuff.
Sure. I mean, part of the reason that San Antonio got rid of him, people don't remember, he was in San Antonio for a while. He was playing with David Robinson.
Yeah.
And I think Bob Hill was the coach back then. And he would take his shoes off on the bench. So the coach would come over and say, hey, Dennis, we need you in the game. And his shoes are off. He's got to put his shoes on. He's got to tie them. He's done that before. So, And
that's a bad look. It's like, as if you don't want to play. But Draymond's 35, 36 years old, man. And he's not setting a good example for his teammates or anybody doing some stuff like that.
Does he care?
No.
I mean, but players are going in that direction. Players are getting whatever they want now. Players make more money than coaches. That wasn't the case back then. Coaches made more money than players back in the day when I played.
Yeah.
Now, a great coach in the NBA is going to make $10 million a year, right? Well, a great player is going to make $60 million a year. Who's going to go? Who's going when there's a confrontation? I mean, that's just what it's turned into. And now carry it over into college. So now you have the transfer portal with NIL money, and you can leave whenever you want for whatever reason. I don't like the way you comb your hair, so I'm leaving. I'm going to another college. It's not an injury. Right. It's not a whatever. It's just whenever you want, you can just leave. So now when they're in the pros and they've gotten everything they've wanted for so long, and you try to hold them accountable, now you got a problem because they're not used to it. And that's what's going to happen in LA. We'll talk about the Lakers later, but I told you before, holding players accountable and stars accountable in the NBA is very difficult to do. They got to want to be held accountable, and the great ones do. It's different than, it's not different than college anymore. It used to be because the head coach controlled the team. control the makeup of the team. He used to control your playing time. And if you're gonna leave, you're gonna pay a penalty. You're gonna have to sit out a year. That's not true anymore. So now they're following in the NBA because, in the NBA, if your best players don't want to listen to you, don't want, it's the coaching factory. I mean, I looked up how many coaches the Lakers have had in the last 10 years or 12 years. It's like every other year they're getting another coach, and they've tried everybody from Mike Brown to Mike D'Antoni. I mean, it's like, but you have to have the players want to sacrifice and win as a group and do the little things and be held accountable. So, that's Steph Curry, let Steve Kerr keep them accountable for the most part. But if you'll look at why Draymond got upset, is because Steve Kerr took him out of the game because he threw the ball away again. That's why. And his whole emphasis was we got to limit our turnovers. We're averaging way too many turnovers, and it's killing us. And then Draymond he just threw some lazy pass, and the guy stole it like a pick six and laid it up or dunked it at the other end, and he took him out of the game. And Draymond's mad because he threw the ball away. Draymond's mad at Steve because he threw the ball away. Figure that out. And I'll tell you what happens too is because I guarantee Draymond's looking at Steve saying, well, Steve, he threw the ball away. He threw the ball away. He threw the ball away. He threw the ball away, and you didn't take them out of the game. Why me?
Yeah.
So it snowballs.
Hey, David's checking in. What's up, David? Good comment here. Some coaches in college still, like Coach Self and Coach Izzo, still have control of their team. They are the exception and not the rule.
Well, and David, I agree with you, but they're losing control also. I guarantee you that Izzo can't coach like he did 4 years ago.
No.
Because what you end up doing is recruiting your players. You got to now in college, you have to recruit your players that are on your team to return. Then you have to recruit to other players that left their other team and you want them to come to you. So you're doing all this, but it never used to be. You have to recruit your own players over and over every year now.
Izzo had a kid a couple of years ago, 6'11" kid, highly recruited kid, and Iz didn't play him. He said he hadn't earned the minutes. And I'll think, and he left. I mean,
I would be interested to see where he went and what he's doing now.
Yeah, I'm gonna find him out because one thing that with Izzo, you that size, he's gonna want you to rebound for sure and be physical, and he was not.
Yeah, so he left. Okay, that's great, and he left, and Izzo was probably happy he left. We used to talk that we have to take a long walk with this player at the end of the year because we don't want him to come back. We want him to leave for whatever reason. We want that scholarship, So Izzo did that, and I don't know where the kid is or whatever. But more power to Izzo. But that power is running away now, and now you have to deal with NIL money.
Yeah.
So
and how about the kid that went to the NBA and just came back to college?
Yeah, but let's go to Izzo again. So say that big kid, was doing everything he wanted to do. He was blocking shots. He was rebounding. He was playing hard. He was knocking people on their ass. Izzo loves him. And at the end of the year, the player comes to him and says, hey, coach, I need to make X amount of dollars NIL money, because that's what I'm worth. And Izzo, probably not at Michigan State, but maybe, I'm sorry, man. All our NIL money's gone. We paid it to this guy and that guy and that guy and that guy. I don't have that type of money anymore. This is all I can give you. Half of that. Bye-bye. I leave anyway. Catch 20. So that happens too. But I don't, to your point though, Rick, I don't know how players can go play in the G League or play overseas in China, make good money, and then come back and play college. But the flip side of that is most of your players, from Giannis to Luka to the Joker, they were playing professional when they were 14, 15 years old. And if you're not one of those guys, but you're playing, you're a good overseas player, which how many non-American players are in college on rosters now? Probably half of every roster is non-American players. So they were probably playing pro when they were young. So now why we punish American players when they're young if they go make money, but they're still young and they want to play. So, and once again, NCAA opened the Pandora's box.
There you go.
And
Izzo went off on the NCAA. See, Mo, is at the point now where really he don't give a damn. He'll say anything. He went off on the NCAA and the coach that recruited him, that signed the guy. But
very, very few coaches are in that situation.
Right.
But we mentioned a couple, Bill Self, Izzo, guys like that. They can flip you off and say, screw you, I'm going to do it, say what I want to do, run my program. But 90% of the college is not like that.
And Mo, the kid was Xavier Booker. He's currently at UCLA. In their last game, he had 6 points, 1 assist, and 1 rebound, and played 13 minutes. So
he pretty much is what he is.
Yeah.
So I'm not so sure that Izzo didn't little push him out. You should go to UCLA. It happens all the time, Ricky. I need your scholarship. Why? I'll help you get to another school.
Yeah. Hey, Mo, how about this? Way to go, Chris. Paul, I found your rookie star company card. When you were drafted in 1978, your 83 star card is your rookie card. You were drafted in 79, though, weren't you, Mo?
Yes.
Yep. 79. The rookie card. Man, we need to take a look at that, Chris. So we have to figure something out where we can see that. Mo, do you have all your cards? Do people ever send you stuff? Or?
Yeah, I get sent a lot of stuff to sign. I send it back. That's my 84 card right there.
Wow.
So
there's a card of you where you look like Patrick Mahomes out there throwing an outlet pass to somebody. That pass had to be on the money with that form.
Yeah, I mean, that was younger me too, but yeah, because us big guys weren't allowed to dribble. We had to pass it. We weren't going to dribble the ball down the
floor. Coach Flo signed. Oh, apparently you signed it for him. That's Steve. Steve had a card.
Yeah, I mean, guys send me cards. I'll sign them and send them back with a self-addressed envelope. Yeah.
Here, David, every player in Division I college football and basketball is on a 1-year contract. After the end of the year, you recruit them again or wish him well with your new team. And to add to that, David, not only Division I, all the way down to junior college. I mean, you tell a kid not to dribble 2 or 3 times, Mo, they're going to want to transfer somewhere where they can dribble.
Yeah, for sure. So that's why you got to bring players in that will do what you want them to do. And you weed out the other ones, But to David's point, though, it's not a 1-year contract. It's less than that. Because isn't there Division I college football players that don't play in their bowl game?
Yeah.
Right?
We're seeing that right now. Right now.
Yeah. So, and that's, more power to them. They want to do that, but they're not committing to a whole season then. So, that even worse than what we think, David. It's crazy.
Yeah, it certainly is. So, yeah, well, that's a good conversation start. I just happened to see the Draymond thing as I was prepping for the show tonight, and man, he's just too old for that. You should be a elder statesman on that team.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't even know what his numbers are this year, but I know they're down. So, and this is what fans out there, get all over the teams because they have no loyalty and it's like family. No, it's not. It's a business. But, and there's some point of that I agree to, but not much because it's a business. And they're being loyal to Draymond Green right now because he's not producing like he used to. He'll he'll have one good game out of 5 or something. But is that worth putting up with all that and paying him? What are they paying him? 30 million, 25, 40?
Yeah.
I don't know. So at some point, you're going to lose that talent, and it's not going to be worth keeping you.
Yeah, and when you look at them, Mo, they are currently 8th in the 8th spot, 16-16. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. I mean, they aren't scaring anybody over there, for sure.
No, so is it worth keeping him around or trading him somewhere and get something for him?
I would. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what you get for him. But speaking of trades, I keep hearing Anthony Davis's name come up. Stories about him. Every week it's a new team after him. A couple of weeks ago, it was the Pistons. Now I'm hearing about the Hawks being interested in him. Now, Mo, we're not talking contracts or anything. We're talking about on-court performance. Would you trade him for Trae Young?
Why? Why? I mean,
that was the name that came up in the story.
I mean, what does it do to Atlanta? I mean, just
they play well without Trae.
Yeah, but AD, he's not on the court. He's hurt right now.
Yeah.
You know, so what, so getting rid of Trae Young and bringing in AD, are you going to be a top 4 team? No. So why go through all that? You know, I just, and if you're Dallas, what do you get for, Trae Young? What? Okay. I mean, I guess he can run the point, I guess.
Yeah, that those are just 2 names that people know.
Yeah, I mean, and actually the contracts work, I think.
Yeah. So, yeah, Steve, poor Lions, poor Packers, poor Chiefs. You're right. I'm not too worried about my Lions, though, because I think they'll come back. Got to get people healthy. If they don't stay healthy, it does not matter. People, and Mo, here's what killed me. People around town, get rid of Dan Campbell. I'm like, do you remember what this team was like before he got there?
Yeah, so
what are you talking about?
I got a great idea. You can do what the Raiders did and got rid of their special teams coach. That really helps.
Yeah. Yeah, that fixed things, didn't it? Well, they're going to get that number 1 pick, probably.
Yeah, but who are they going to get? I mean, they need a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback. They have a quarterback that threw the most interceptions of any quarterback in the NFL this year. So, you can't get anywhere without a good quarterback. And, I guess there are some big names and good quarterbacks in the draft. So, they got to just go ahead and get the best one of those and then build from there. But, it's not good here in Las Vegas with the Oakland Raiders.
Is Trae better than Anthony on the downside of his career? I mean, Trae's been hurt too, though, but he doesn't have the extended history that Davis does.
I think you're just trading one for the other. I mean, if I'm going to make a trade, I want to improve my team drastically.
Yeah.
I want to improve my chances of getting to the playoffs or going farther in the playoffs or winning the championship or getting younger and more talented or more assets in the future. That's what I want to make a trade for, not just to swap 2 players because it sounds good. I mean,
yeah. I think that's what that sound. Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Yeah. That sounds good. Mo, this is a great question from Steve. Your thoughts on Giannis's windmill dunk at the end of the Bulls game? And his comments were like, "Hey man, we're 11-11. We got to get it together. We got to win."
Well, I understand when people say you got to play to the final whistle or the final horn or the final out. I understand that, but there is etiquette in basketball for sure about dribbling the clock out in a blowout, or taking your press off if you're 50 points up, things like that. And it's always been, you know, don't you don't need to show anybody up. Like if I'm a coach, and I've had this done to me before. Like, we're struggling, we're banged up, we're down by 30 in late in the fourth quarter, and the coach calls a timeout for no reason. Like I'm like, what are you doing, man? I mean,
Right.
just get the game over with. And a lot of that's in the NBA too, about dribbling out the clock and just being respectful. So, and I got a problem with Giannis saying that. Right? We're 11-11. We got to get to what? They were up by what, 15?
Right.
So what do you mean? What is you doing a windmill at the end of a blowout do except embarrass the other team? What does it do? We got to come. No, that doesn't do anything. That's like, I guarantee half his teammates were going, oh, shoot, why did he do that? Right. So that's to me, that comment is BS. That's BS.
You have no problem with the Bulls' reaction to that?
No, but if I was Giannis, I would rather have him say, you know what? I wanted to rub it in their faces. That's why I did it. Yeah. So there. If they want to rub it in my face, let's play next game and see what happens. No, all players are afraid to say that. Well, we're 11-11 and we got to toughen it. That had nothing to do with it. And some of the Bulls took offense to it, and I don't blame them. I mean, if someone would have done that back in the day when I played in the 80s, there would have been a fight. Absolutely. No question. There would have been a problem. Not one of those little pushy fights, fake fights like they had, right? The Bulls came over and they pushed them a little bit. There would have been punches thrown if that would have happened back in the day. But everything's changed.
Yeah, that is very true now. Everything has changed.
Again, let's go. So the Bulls went over there. Oh, we take offense. Oh. I would have respected, like if I would have respected Giannis saying, you know what? I dunked it in their face because I wanted to. I would have respected the Bulls if they went over there and actually got in a fisticuffs. And
every now and then you'll see that in football. In most cases, NFL teams, they will take a knee because it's such a brutal game. It's like, hey, here's a chance for somebody to get hurt.
Yep. So after that dunk, you see how he landed?
I did not notice it.
He landed funky. He landed kind of back on his leg, like. He could have torn his knee. He could have done that. He landed awkward anyway. So why do it? That's the other thing. When coaches leave starters in the game too long, especially in college, there's a 20-point game or 50-point game, and they don't put the bench in until like 1 minute left or 30 seconds left. You couldn't put him in with 2 minutes left. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you a little secret here. In the back of my mind, I'm hoping one of their good players turns an ankle on some stupid play at the end of the game. Wow.
Absolutely, man. Mo, let's look at the standings over here. I just mentioned in the West about Golden State being in the A spot at 16-16. Oklahoma City 27-5. San Antonio 23-8, but I want to talk to you about San Antonio, Paul, because they have really seemed to take a step forward.
Yeah, I mean, San Antonio, I saw them play twice. I think 3 times here in Las Vegas last week at the Emirates Cup. And they've done everything through the draft, right? I think they've had 3 of the last rookies of the year with Wemby, Castle, and Vassell. I think those are the last 3 rookies of the year in the NBA. And they built a team they got a lot of youth around, but they also, have some experience like Harrison Barnes. He's there. They brought in Luke Cornett, who's the big 7-footer that played for Boston for the last few years. And he looks kind of awkward out there, but he gets it done. I think he had 13 rebounds in one of the games I saw him here. And he's a little older, but, they got a well-rounded team. They got youth on their side. They have every position covered. I mean, Dylan Harper is one of the best rookies in the league for sure. He's not going to get Rookie of the Year because he's playing with these other guys, Vassell, Castle, Wemby. So his numbers aren't going to look great, but he is a legit player. He's 6'3", 6'4", true point guard, and he's a rookie that's just growing, and I love the way he plays. And then they have Devin Vassell around him, who's 25 years old. They got Stephen Castle, who's 21. Wemby's 21. They just got a nice young nucleus of every position. You're looking at the point guard, the center, obviously, and Wemby, some great wings. So your future is looking great, and you shouldn't do anything crazy to off balance that and make some silly trade that somebody says is great, and just build with what you got, because I saw them beat OKC, who's the best team in the league, but OKC is stumbling right now. They've lost a few games here. Guess what? Most of them been to the Spurs, by the way. So, the Spurs, when I watched them play OKC, they looked younger, more athletic. Same with the New York Knicks. And, but at the same time, I don't put them there with the Knicks and with OKC right just yet. It's going to take
they beat the Spurs. I think they've beaten the Spurs 3 times already, Paul. And so the reporters asked Williams of OKC about, well, what is it about the Spurs? And they say they have this big guy. He never said his name. He said they have this big guy. He's about 7'5", and he has these real long arms, and he makes it hard to drive down the middle.
Yeah, but they also have a great young point guard. They also have 2 really young, very talented wings. They also have a deep bench, just like OKC. So it's not just one person; it's all of them. But that's a matchup thing we've talked about before. So I guarantee OKC does not want to see the Spurs in the early rounds of the playoffs. But at the same time, I don't think San Antonio can beat Denver in a 7-game series. That might be it right now. With the Lakers kind of wandering around, but but the Spurs are doing everything right. They need to keep on the same track. Don't do anything drastic because, we can win it this year. Slow down. Maybe you can win this year. Maybe make a trade that makes a little sense with a secondary guy where you don't give up, 2 of your starters to get some star that hopefully will help you. But they're in a good position, and they looked really, really good a week ago here in Vegas.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. And it's fun to watch, man. It's fun to see these good young teams coming on. And I want to get to the Lakers and their problems. Their record looks good, 20-10, but there's some issues there that Coach J.J. Redick thinks is happening. But you look at the top 4 spots in the West, OKC 27-5, San Antonio 23-8, Denver 22-9, Lakers 20-10, Houston in the 5 spot 19-10. My goodness. We haven't got to Minnesota and Phoenix, who's playing well this year. What a conference, Mo.
What's that?
What a conference, the Western Conference.
Yeah, but the Lakers aren't up because of their lack of defense and their lack of depth. I mean, they fixed the center position with Ayton, who I like. He's not as good as a lot of people want him to be, but he's an upper level center in the league. He's not the best center in the league, but he's an upper level center. But their depth isn't there yet. It's going to be interesting with Reeves. He's out for about a month now. Luka, when you watch Luka play, I thought at the beginning of the year he was trying to play defense and trying to get that whole JJ Redick attitude, and play defense. But I think he still has leg problems. His calf, his quad, he limps around. Even though he's carrying less weight, and that's a problem when your best player, one of your best players, is dragging a little bit.
Well, you got and I'm with Steve here. LeBron's not guarding anybody. Is that his age or his want to?
Probably his age a little bit. Reeves doesn't guard anybody either. So
yeah.
So I mean, the guy's 40 years old. What do you want him to do, Steve?
When you don't have, these aren't tremendous defensive players, Mo. You just got to try to outscore everybody. Coach Mo did that in Denver, right?
Yeah. Well, they sped it up, but did he ever win a championship? No.
No.
I mean, the best teams that win championships in the NBA are top 5 in offense and top 5 in defense. Even when the Warriors made their run back in the day, they were a top 5 defensive team. They were. And even though Steph can't guard anybody really, but they made up for it. So you have to have both cylinders going. But we talked about accountability and being able to hold people accountable. And I've been in some brutal film sessions where the saying is video don't lie. So when I play a play and I rewind it and you're standing in the corner not guarding your guy and your guy goes back door and gets a dunk, that's a problem. Or Luka does this all the time. He turns the ball over and starts yelling at the ref while the other team goes down and lays it in instead of sprinting back and trying to get a stop. So, holding pros, we talked about it before, is very difficult, man. But unless you can do it, and you also have to have players on your team that do it. I'm telling you, the Bulls for the most part, the Celtics for the most part, the old Lakers for the most part, they never had problems like this, right? You know why? Because Magic Johnson held players accountable. Larry Bird held teammates accountable. Michael Jordan held teammates accountable. The coach didn't have to. If I talk to the coaches of those teams and ask them, when something happened in practice or a game and you're about to go, you got to move your feet, stay in front of your man. You got to block out your man. You got to rotate. Before you could say that, I bet one of those other guys said it before you. And I bet that most of the time.
And in Detroit, it was Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah would fight you if he had to. Well, and he's the slowest guy out there.
And Lambier.
Absolutely.
They were like this, so they backed each other up. I don't, my thoughts on, Lambier is different than, it was probably the same than a lot of people, but one thing was he's a great teammate and he had Isaiah's back at all times. And I remember they were talking about when they made the trade for Aguirre for Dantley and, from Dallas. And, Aguirre came in and, Lambier said right at the top, said, hey, listen, you've been doing some stuff in Dallas that we don't do here in Detroit, so don't even try it. But that's about chemistry, like we talked about, and that's about how you put your persona around the whole team, all the team, and the best way for a coach to have everybody snap in place is to get on your best player, and for that best player to say, you're right, coach, I'll get better at that. That's the best thing that can happen. Except here's the second best thing that can happen. One of those guys is out there in the game just messing around and screwing up, and you take him out of the game, your best player, even though the game is tight, and you sit him on the bench and you don't put him back in, and your team wins. That's the other thing that's really good.
Yeah. Hey, Mo, you and Lambier had some battles. Is there any particular sequence, anything that stands out?
No, because actually we didn't have many battles really, because like when we played Detroit, I was guarding Mayhorn, or I was guarding Edwards, or I didn't guard Lambier as much. But I played against Lambier in high school. He went to Palos Verdes, I went to Crespi. I played against him in the summer. So, but it was never like that.
Okay. Well, God, Big Rick, he put that big butt on you.
Oh, you do more than that. I mean, when he was with Washington, and he and Rulon were the Bruise brothers, they would torture guards. They would just, hit them with picks and knock them down, and anytime they would have, just get that they were the real deal. Rick was the real deal. He just a solid player, great teammate. So let's talk about a business, right? Basketball's a business. Detroit Pistons win the championship, and they cut Rick Mahorn during the parade. There's a business parade.
Yeah. Yeah. Traded Jack. He
traded me too. Hey.
Traded Jack McCluskey. Hey, Mo, you mentioned Jeff Rulon. Man, he was a good player. He couldn't stay healthy, but he was really a good player.
Yeah, he was an ultimate low post player. Really good touch, not very athletic, but could score in a lot of different ways. And the first part of his career, when he was healthy, he was an all-star.
Yeah.
And he had knee problems, and that stopped, which stops a lot of players.
Where did he play in college?
He played at Iona.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, in a little school in the East.
Yeah, Big Jeff Rulon. Absolutely. You're watching We Got Next. I'm Rickey Hampton with my great friend, Paul Mokeski. Hope everybody's having a great holiday season, our last show of the year. Send us your questions and comments. And, man, we really appreciate all you guys for staying with us and being part of the show throughout the course of the year. This has certainly been a lot of fun for Paul and I to be able to do this. And having you guys around each week definitely makes it fun. So shout out to you guys.
So let's give them a little GM and Coach Mo GM material. All right.
And then we give a little shout out to you guys for the year. But Mo, put your GM cap on, because trades are coming up now. I guess somebody's going to do something, right?
Yeah, and if I'm a top 5 or 6 team in any division, East or West, what I'm doing as a GM? I'm targeting the worst teams and see if I can steal a player or two away from them. So here's a couple examples. If I was a team that was looking for a veteran guard that's been around, that can score, has good leadership, I'm looking at C.J. McCollum from the Washington Wizards, who are 7-23, going nowhere. And C.J., even at 34 years old, he's averaging 18 points and 4 rebounds. And he's a guy that could really fit in with any team. He could fit in with the Warriors, the Lakers, OKC even, or, definitely the Knicks. There's a guy I'm going after. And there's also another guy on the Wizards, an older veteran, that I don't know if he has enough gas in the tank now, but Chris Middleton, remember him about 3 years ago when he was one of the best players on the championship team? Well, he's got shipped off to Wizard land, and, he's 34 years old, and he's only averaging 11 points and 4 boards, but that's a guy, a wing that can score for you. He can't defend, so maybe not as much. And they also have, the Wizards have 2 young guys I would look at if I could get them, steal them away. One is Alex Czar, who was the first or second pick in the draft a couple of years ago. He's only 20 years old, and he's averaging 18 points and 8 rebounds a game. But he's young. So if I could steal him away, I'd try it. Or they have another guy, Tristan Vukovic, who's there. He's averaging only 8 and 4. He's 22, but he's 7 foot tall. He's one of those European bigs that if I need a big, if I was the Warriors and I get him for a 2nd round pick, I'm going to go get him and see if he can help us,
Yeah, and he has shown some flashes. I mean, and like you said, number 2 pick in the draft a couple of years ago. So yeah, absolutely, I'm with
So
you on that, Mo.
yeah, so I'm looking at steals and deals, right? Here's another. If I need a big guy, if I was the Warriors, I would call the Clippers up and see if I could get Brook Lopez away from them. He's 38 years old. He's at the end of his career. He's only averaging 7 points and 2 rebounds, but he hit 9 threes in one game a couple nights ago. 9 threes. So
Dang.
he can still do that. And if I could get him for a late first round or, a second round or something like that, and I could bring him into the Golden State Warriors, he's actually 7 foot. Years back, he was defensive player of the year, protects the rim, smart, good passer. I'm going to go try and steal him from the Clippers, who are wallowing around at 10 and 21, 13th in the West. And, they're paying a lot of, players a lot of money, Harden and Leonard.
Leonard had 55 on my boys last night.
Yep, and they're still 10 and 21.
and he may not play for the next 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, he might have, load management. But they do have another big that's a good younger big, Zubac, on that team.
Yeah.
Right? He's averaging 16 points and 11 rebounds. He's only 29, and you're going to have to give up something for him. But if I'm looking for a big, that can help us win in the playoffs, maybe we can compete against San Antonio or OKC, who has, 2 7-footers they start. I'm going to see if I can grab him for something not much. And, the Clippers, they're just sitting there, treading water. So I'm going to make that call. GM Coach Mo is going to call them and say, hey, Zubac, what do you want for him? And then if it goes sideways, I'm say, well, we're not doing that. But what about Brook Lopez, dude? What about him?
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll see some movement this year because people feel the East is wide open with Boston not having their guy. His name is escaping me now.
Tatum.
Yeah, Jason Tatum.
They're doing good. They're doing
in for the year. So we'll see what happens there. No, Chris Ramsey was mentioning the Denver Nuggets, and I got a question about. He's talking about Fat Lever, Alex English, Kiki Vandeweghe. Man, he could score the ball. But Dan Issel, what was he, most 6'8"?
Yeah, 6'8", 6'9". Yeah.
And what made him an effective player?
He could shoot the ball. He'd come on. He shot trailer. He didn't shoot trailer threes, but he shot trailer, 20-footers all the time. And, back then, the big guys weren't allowed to shoot from outside that much, but he could, and he did. And he was allowed to early in the offense, which was unusual back then.
So what Coach Mo, his offensive numbers, you're right, they never won anything. But his philosophy was just go, 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 go. Was there a method to his madness?
No, it started. That was Westhead, Paul Westhead.
In L.A.
No, he went to Denver also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. I believe, maybe I'm wrong, but I think he's the one that was, and then he went to, he was at Loyola Marymount also. But he's the one that hurry up and score so we can get the ball out. Kind of like Mike D'Antoni in Phoenix. When he had the 8 second. We're gonna shoot, score in 8 seconds, not 24. Same kind of philosophy. And also, people, they had an advantage for 41 games when they played in Denver at the altitude,
right.
Which got a lot of players.
But what I think people always overlook is you have to build your team for the playoffs, because when teams are able to dig in and focus on you, the stuff you get away with in the regular season, they're going to take stuff away from you.
Well, for whatever reason, the game slows down. I mean, whether the coaches get a little more precious of possessions or the players do, there's more focus on every single possession because, as we know in the playoffs, one or two bad possessions could cost you the game, which could eventually cost you a series. So the game just naturally slows down and becomes more of a half court game. And you were right, Ricky, because when you're scout, every team knows the other teams, all their plays, all their play calls, all the players' tendencies. So here's the thing you have to change in the playoffs. So you've been running this play, and all season long. Let's say horns twist. You've been running all season long, and you either get a good shot off the first or second option. Well, in the playoffs, you're going to have to go to the third, fourth, sometimes fifth option to get a good shot off that same play. And that's what happens in the playoffs because everybody knows the action. Also, even as individual players. So I know when I'm guarding whoever, I know he likes to go right 70% of the time. He only goes left 30% of the time. And when he goes left 80% of the times, he pulls up for a jump shot. He doesn't go all the way to the basket. All those stats are in everybody's mind. And you study them and you see them on film. So players have to dig into their bag, and be able to, I got to be able to, if they take my right away, I got to be able to go left, or I got to be able to do some spin move, or I have to do more options on my offensive skills than I usually do during the year, where I can come down, I can cross somebody over and get to the basket. Well, in the playoffs, you're going to come down, cross somebody over and try to get to the basket. There's going to be three guys waiting on you, because they focused on that play and your move. That's what you like to do. So, that's why the game slows down. And it's really, the teams that prepare and the players that really take it seriously, it can really affect the efficiency of another team.
Hey, I got a great question earlier that I forgot who said it, who asked it. No, is it a team out there that if you were playing today that you think your skills will fit in, and a team that if you were coaching today that you would like to coach?
Love OKC.
Good question. I'll figure out who asked that.
Yeah, if I'm coaching, I love OKC. I love Denver. You got Murray and the Joker, who are really high level players and are accountable. If I'm playing, I like Golden State because I fit right in. I can pick and pop, but I can dribble handoff. I can do all that stuff. Not so much the New York Knicks because they kind of really pound it, and Burleson has it in his hands all the time. But my game at the end of the career, end of my career when I was allowed to shoot threes and do that stuff is more conducive to the game now than it was back then. Back then, I was a low post hook guy, drop step guy, but I could work out of the high post. I was a good passer. I could do dribble handoffs. I could shoot, and But I don't want to play with James Harden. I don't want to play with guys that dribble the air on the ball. I want to play on a team that moves the ball. OKC moves the ball. When Golden State is good, they move the ball. San Antonio moves the ball. Denver, not so much. Denver is more like when I played with the Bucks, right? We had Sidney Moncrief and Jack Sikma and Terry Cummings, and they're going to be over there doing their thing, and I'm going to be over here trying to get a rebound. That's what Denver's like more. But any team that moves the ball and plays good style open basketball, that's where I would fit in as a player and actually as a coach.
And that was Chris. That great question, and Chris, very interesting to hear those thoughts from Mo. And Mo, nobody's going to trade for Miles Turner because he makes too much money, right?
Well, he's having a down year, and I don't know if it's the Giannis effect or something along those lines. But someone in Milwaukee, coaching staff, player, they need to challenge him. We want you to be what you were last year at Indiana. He blocked shots. He protected the rim. He ran the floor. He knocked down jumpers. That's what we want. We want that Turner, not the one. I think he's a little apprehensive.
Yeah. Hey, last one, Mo. And next week, I want to talk about the stuff you got on your board. That's some good stuff. But will the Knicks burn themselves out the way they play? Who asked that question? Steve said, wonders about the Knicks burning themselves out with their style of play.
I don't think so. I mean, Brunson, handles the ball out. He pounds the ball. He put on a show here in Vegas the second game where he scored 42 or whatever he scored. But no, he's not a very big, tall guy, but he's strong. But that's the guy I'm probably worried about the most of wearing him out, because he's asked a lot on offense to score and distribute and shoot jumpers, but get to the basket. He takes a lot of hits, and he's going to take a lot of hits all year. But who's picking up? Anunoby is really picking up. He really impressed me here. He's picking up some of this. And Jordan Clarkson, who I forgot was on the team. He came off the bench and had 20 the other night. Hopefully what happens is they take some of the pressure off Brunson, because Towns is going to do his thing. Robinson is going to be a great rim protector, block shots. He's going to do his thing. Hart is going to do his thing, very physical guard. So really the guy I'm worried about is probably Brunson wearing himself out, playing this way. And it's interesting because they're a much deeper team than they were last year. And they fired their coach last year because they played their starters way too many minutes, right? They didn't use his bench. When I research how many minutes those same guys are playing this year, it's like almost identical, maybe a couple minutes less. But, so it's
they're really good. I don't want to take them out.
Yeah, but you got to really, and that's a legitimate question because it's a long season and you got to give guys rest, or they're going to wear it down and, it's going to cause fatigue/injuries down the road. And that if you have fatigue or injuries going into the playoffs, I don't care how good you are, you're not going to get out of the way, because the playoffs is another 2-month season if you go to the finals. That's another 30 games. That's crazy. Absolutely. But, so I that's a good question. The only guy I would worry about in New York is Brunson.
Is their main guy. Well, Mo, we got to get out of here. Thank you, everybody. Again, thank you so much for all your support.
Why do we have to get out of here? Nobody here cares about who's playing football anymore. Our teams are out.
I'm with you on that, brother. And Mo, happy birthday week, man. You got a lot of people on here saying happy birthday to you. Celebrate to everybody out there. We'll see you next year. Have a prosperous week, and see you in 26.
Oh.
Give me just one day. Fluent and chill. What it takes, stay real.